Hey, what's up everybody? Lawler here with more Rocket League news. We've got some interesting ones today. Tox from Vodafone Giants was banned mid-event from Regional 3 in Europe and eventually led to Vodafone Giants being eliminated altogether. Rumors of Space Station having a gaming house coming soon in Miami, Florida, and more information regarding the Llama Rama event this weekend with double XP. But before we get into that, as always, if you guys enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, as well as leave any comments with questions you have, as it does help me out greatly on the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the format of the regionals, once you end up qualifying through and get into stage 1 of the regionals, today was Group B for stage 1. You play multiple matches with up to 5 rounds total. The overall goal is to get 3 wins before you receive 3 losses. In the middle of round 2 or 3, it was shown that a new player for Vodafone Giants in Wolf, their sub, would be playing, and Tox ended up tweeting this out. Can't play the rest of RLCS regionals because I said a swear word in team chat in the private match to my teammate to tell him how to spell the word. 72-hour ban for that. Already I'm a little suspicious about this because who doesn't know how to spell profanity, and if you don't, maybe it's a language barrier thing, and that is something that they didn't look up. Either way, Rocket League does have a pretty strict system. If you are caught swearing in-game with a profanity filter and you get reported, or if it gets automatically flagged, you can receive an extended ban. This has happened to numerous other people in the past. Roughly an hour after, in the event thread on the subreddit for Rocket League Esports, one of the developers, or the community manager, Devin, ends up posting this. Number 1, the ban on Tox is justified. We've reached out to him, confirmed what was said. The ban will not be lifted. Second, I've mentioned this on the main RL sub in the past, and I'll repeat here now. Just because someone posts on Reddit or Twitter, etc., that their ban was issued under false pretenses doesn't mean they are telling the truth. Number 3, no player is above the terms of use and code of conduct, and the same applies to pros. Suggesting that pro players will be exempt after breaking the rules sets a poor example and a bad precedent. So a couple things to dissect about this. Number 1, Devin is doubling down. He is saying that this ban is more than just. 72 hours for a ban is not something that they're going to take lightly, and it is following the terms of service and aligns with that. Number 2, he then indirectly calls out Tox and basically says, hey man, like, you're lying on Twitter. That is not what happened. And just so you know, don't believe everything you see on Twitter from some of these players. Because of that, there has been a plethora of jokes and memes and banter thrown at Tox. And social media today on Twitter has been relatively interesting. If you want to see those, by all means, they're out there, but I am not going to be the one that pushes you in that direction. On the other side of it, there was some backlash towards Psyonix as well, which obviously hasn't been responded to, but it's mostly due to Smurfs and the people that abuse the system. If nobody is above the terms of service, then why is it that numerous community figures, content creators, etc. are able to Smurf even though it's clearly against terms of service? So obviously some criticism there that they are receiving. But because of the ban, obviously Tox is not able to play in the rest of the regionals, and they end up not even qualifying for Stage 2, which looked like a shoo-in based upon what their group was. They looked like they were struggling against teams that they didn't, and it's unfortunate for Wolf because I don't necessarily want to put any blame on him. Wolf is obviously being thrown into a circumstance, probably no scrim time, and just having to do this out of the blue. So Wolf did look definitely out of place. Not that he performed necessarily poorly, it's just positioning wise, you could tell it was a little bit of a struggle compared to the rotation and the style that they're used to with Tox. So this is a big deal in my opinion, not really short term, but more so long term. For the main reason, obviously Giants has already qualified for the major or the regional event that is being done for the major for the fall split in replacement because of COVID, but it's going to be really shitty, and part of my language, down the line if they end up missing out on the world championships for that 6th place spot or higher because of something like this. So it could have repercussions way down in the future that people aren't really thinking about. Again, this should be something that just never happens in the first place. This should be something that never comes up, and unfortunately this could have an effect long term. We'll have to see how it plays out. Also, in another thread, Reddles ended up replying to one of the comments and said, sadly, that they are going to be disqualifying in the next version of the grid because he and Arsenal are going to be both moving to Miami. Someone in the replies ended up asking him, Team House, with a bunch of question marks, to which he replied a bunch of heart smiley faces. Not sure if this is going to play out as a full Team House or if it's just Reddles and Arsenal moving East Coast for better ping. Chrome recently did move away from Florida, and their coach is now living in Connecticut. So not sure how this is going to play out. Obviously, Sipical still in a concern of this if he's going to be joining them in the future. But as of right now, Rebels and Arsenal in the same place is going to allow for a lot of synergy in a team that is already super aggressive and chaotic, which could only be more dangerous and better prepare them for the future. I ended up reaching out to one of the higher ups at Space Station, and they did confirm with me that it is just a team house for the major, which will be going on for a couple of months. Arsenal and Rebels are going to be moving to Miami this week, and they need to do it quickly because obviously they've got regionals coming up, and if they're going to be doing it, they got to get everything set up before Thursday, and they're supposed to get it in on Wednesday. He also told me that they don't plan on disqualifying in week 9 of the grid, and that Chrome will probably be playing unless things have changed since, quote, last night. It's going to be fun seeing Chrome back on the field. Also, as a reminder, the Llama Rama event will be starting today, the 26th, and with that is also 2 times XP. It was announced today that, yes, the first event is going live, which we'll be playing on my Twitch channel this weekend if you guys want to join. Down in the description, twitch.tv/Lawler if you would like to come hang out with us as we watch the games for the regionals as well as kind of compete in the event and get those challenges done. We'd love to have you. But double XP this weekend is going to allow you to level up those rocket passes at a very quick rate if you've never really been able to experience it in the past. And for a lot of free-to-play players, I think it's a really cool concept of how they keep trying to push and keep this concurrent. And that brings me to my last point for the video, is the fact that we hit 1.4 million concurrent players. That is roughly a 500% increase from what we are used to, if not more. And I hope to see a graph from Psyonix in the future of seeing the growth rate and the retention that we get from all these players. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on how you feel the retention is going to go. Obviously, it's a brand new game for a lot of people. It's going to be really exciting, but obviously you're going to always see some drop off. How do you guys feel the retention rates are going to kind of balance out and level out at after the initial hype is gone? Do you think we're going from like 150 to 200,000 up to like 400,000 or 500,000? Do you think it's going to be higher? Do you think it's going to be lower? Let me know what you guys think. That is going to wrap it for today's video. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out and listen. And as a last minute reminder, don't forget, regionals is still going on every single day this weekend. We did get through stage 1 for both group A and B. We now have our final 16 teams for the RLCS Regional 3 event for Europe. We have to then still find out our top 16 on Saturday, which will be today. And then on Sunday, we will do the top 8, which would normally be happening next week. There will also be the North American Regional Qualifier going down, where teams that are trying to make it into the top 32 will be playing for next week North American Regionals. So again, a lot of Rocket League going on this weekend. If you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments in this video, or stop over at my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Lawler. I'll be live all weekend long. If you want to come hang out and ask those questions, that is what I'm there for. We'll be watching the matches, we'll be playing the event, and I hope to see you guys there. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.